life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and the libertines. I got a download today and wrote some notes I want to share, and I'd love to hear your feedback. In this liberated culture of the libertines, it's a siren call to act
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Act bad. See, it's an energy. It's a frequency. Some of y'all may not understand it. Some of y'all may be too stiff to get with it.
And enter into the divine madness. During our prodigal era of enjoying the delicacies of this world, we can have fun, but it's a certain limit, right? Don't you agree? For those that were taught the right way, put on the right path as children, we always knew we couldn't go but so far into the delicacies that the world has to offer. So Yah's laws are guardrails of safety. So again, deep inside, we knew that we could not be totally liberated from the Most High Yah's laws and lose all of our inhibitions. And also, we knew that we couldn't trust our heart, because that's what is taught in the culture, is to follow your heart and trust your heart. But we were taught that our heart is wicked and it will lead us astray. So how would we want to trust our heart when it's been corrupted? Remember, the world will turn a child's heart of gold so cold, right? I thought about when I was little and enjoyed going to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, and I love the exhibition of the heart. So Philadelphians know, and visitors to the city, about the exhibition in the Franklin Institute of the human heart, and you can walk through it, and it was always neat. You could hear the heart beating. And I thought about the city proclaims that it is a city of love, right? And I thought about Sean Combs, as we call him Diddy. He has been very creative with renaming himself, right? He renamed himself Brother Love. But love means different things to different people, we're learning. Love and liberty, these are lofty words that a lot of Philadelphians, we're used to these proclamations and declarations. And in this culture, we also are taught that words are powerful and they are tools of manifestation. And these lofty words, love and liberty and happiness, they are the inspiration for the basis of our government. And, thinking about governing your ment, governing your mind. And in ways, we have been terrorized into agreement to be governed by, I wrote, derelicts, degenerates, and libertines. The libertines in government and religious institutions, they change times and calendars. Easter, which is Ishtar, fertility goddess stuff, but Easter has never been in March, so it coincides with the White House proclaiming and declaring that it would also be the day of visibility for transgender people. So if you were looking for a sign, this should be it. To be governed, you have to come into an agreement. So it's like a contract. But I looked up the life and liberty pursuit of happiness, which is interesting because Will Smith, a Philadelphian, he was in a movie called The Pursuit of Happiness. And so this part of our contract is not legally binding. So I looked up, what does that mean, not legally binding? An agreement, a promise that's consciously agreed to by two or more entities. And this is what is establishing a lawful accountability. So there has to be accountability on the part of the two entities for this to be legally binding. So when an entity acts by force, tricking, and coercion, so I think back to 2020, remember when a lot of fear was used to force, trick, and coerce people into things that they would not have agreed to normally? This was all illegal by the laws of everything, okay? If you're not a believer in the Most High Yah, this is a violation of universal law. And so another entity or person, when they are forced into these agreements, again, it is not legally binding. So it's something that this conversation is very important at this time in history. And I believe that it is good news, I wrote, because both parties must knowingly understand what they are agreeing to, again, in order to establish a legal contract or agreement. And I said it's good news because a lot of us have to call on the good judge and to pray and ask that he judges, because he is a goodly and righteous judge, and it is needed right now, because we have so much corruption and perversion, miscarriage of justice going on. As things ramp up, and I know there are reports of Russia having ships in the Red Sea, and then we have the red heifer, right? Look at that word. That was a word that was used in my family, by the way. My older aunts used to call us heifers. If you were called a heifer, let me know in the comments. But getting back to this, I just want to say that this is good news to those that are beginning to understand that government and being governed has to be an agreement. And it has to be an agreement that the entities that enter into it have to consciously understand what they are entering into. Because when we think about these non-legal binding agreements of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, how has our government served us, the governed? So for a lot of people that are afraid right now, I would say for the children of the Most High Yah, if you feel a call to come out of Babylon, just know that Yah provides a path of redemption. And this is something that the 200 watchers that touched down on Mount Hermon, the watcher angels, they wish that they could have a path of redemption. And that chief angel, that cherubim, Lucifer, that the libertines follow and worship, he wishes that he had a path to redemption. But we, the mere mortals, we have a path to redemption. Repent today and call on the judge. He is a good judge. God bless you all.